Dawn on iRadio.
Hello and welcome to the Dawn Show on iRadio. Today is Friday and it is the 18th of the month of March, the year 2025. I am glad you are part of the Dawn program, which airs every weekday from 6 to 8 a.m. To comment on any story featuring in today's program, simply call 0911 986 986, and for text messages, send them to 0913 986 986. You can also stream this broadcast live by logging onto our website www.iradio.org. Follow us on X at iRadioJuba. And coming up on the Dawn Show,
هذا الجهد كان جهد مشترك في حكومة الولاية في حكومة مركزية في القوات رئيس أركان فكل الجهد بانتصار قواتنا دخولهم في مدينة أولان وهذا برضو نشكر شعبنا أنه تعاونوا برضو.
Well, the South Sudan People's Defense Forces have made it into Ulang town in Upper Nile State after battling their way through in a military operation yesterday. Major General Michael Majok Chan, commander of the SSPDF 2nd Division based in Malakal, confirmed this to the state-owned TVSSBC yesterday. General Majok said this was made possible through a joint effort between the state government, the national government, the various organized forces, and the general staff. The general commended local communities along the route from Malakal to Ulang for their operation and support. And also on the program, a prominent civil society activist has called for an end to reports of targeted killings in Upper Nile State. Edmond Yakani, the executive director of the Community Empowerment for Progress organization, appealed to both national and state governments to intervene. He said military confrontations in the area should stop.
So I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to His Excellency Governor, to appeal to every leader that have a power of decision in Upper Nile that can de-escalate these ongoing targeted killings and this deadly violence. It is bad. We need to see an end to this particular ongoing.
And also to come later on, some South Sudanese small and medium entrepreneurial women say they are grappling with inflation and heavy taxes. They also decry lack of financial support and accessibility to loans to expand their businesses.
Given the fact that South Sudan, we import most of our raw materials from the neighboring countries. So it is really difficult to be able to run a business with that kind of instability. And then this heavy taxation at the border level and even within. A lot of women shared their experience because small and medium businesses are the heart of this country. They are the ones that employ the majority of the youth in the country. So if we cripple them before they can even stand by themselves, where do we expect to grow? How do we expect to grow as a country?
The good news is the World Bank in February announced a $10 million funding to a government initiative dubbed as Women Entrepreneurial Opportunity Facility in a bid to address key barriers preventing them from scaling up their businesses or entering new markets. Now, being implemented by the International Rescue Committee, eligible women entrepreneurs can have access to training, technical advisory, services and financing. Now, this morning we shall be talking about something special. Good Friday. Today is Good Friday, a day of remembrance, a day to reflect on sacrifice, love, and redemption. As we journey forward, we will be talking to a priest about what Good Friday means to Christians, how they observe it, and what lessons we can carry forward in our lives, no matter where we are headed. Now, we will bring this reflection into the current situation in the country, where many parts are experiencing insecurity and instability due to conflict and violence. Now it's your turn to call and share with us the situation in your area. If there is any news for us to hear, please don't hesitate to call our usual contact 0911986986, or you can text to 0913986986. Musteme kiramta iza radio marhabek le barnamij dona sabahe alelana fi makan bita Emmanuel Joseph Akilo masi ya kudra bisid fi awkad bita ide walakin تبقدر وصل معي طوال في برنامج أيجيكم كتير أنا بسمع بعدين أن أمني في أبانايل، وأنا بسمع كمان رابطة نساوين عن تجارة في بلد، وأنا كمان بسمع كتير من الجسيس بيجينا في استوديو كلام عن جود فرايداي الليلة، وهذه فرصة لك تبي تدقوا في أرقامتنا وشارك مع الناس قمت كيف صباح اليوم وده كيف معكم هناك ولا مكان تقاعد فيه 0911-986-986 ولا في خط رسالة 0913-986-986. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Lasuba, Memo.
Naam.
Sabah khair, good morning to you.
Marhabek Batista.
Batista hermano min Guraya al-Khadra.
Naam.
Ay salam bitaiba biljo estido هناك في يوم بتاع الليلة وانا بشكرك بدل زميلك يا ايمانويل جوزيف اكيل هو ما في ويتجاني في كرسي بتاعه عشان ما بكلو بيت بكون فاضي.
نعم.
اي وسلام بتاعي كل staff بتاعكم في يوم بتاع الليلة. والليلة طبعا يوم الجمعة وده يوم العظيم وزي ما انت قلت ونص من قبل نتمنى انه الجمعة ده يكون كويس لانه كلنا هنقوم قاعدين نسلوا فيه المسلمين قاعدين بيسلوا بعدين بنهار صلاة الجمعة واننا قاعدين نسلوا بعد انا كمان كمسيحيين. وسلام بتاعي الأخير بمشي لكل مستمعين في 10 ولايات و3 مناطق الإدارية وقيامات وحكومات بتاعه كله نقول لهم صباح خير عليكم وجمعة عظيمة عليكم. طبعا يعني في مدارس واجهزة خلاص يا شغل بقى ما في ناس وبيوت إلا إلى هذه يوم بتاع 3 دقائق. نتمنى إنه الناس كله يكونوا قاعدين كويسين في إجازة ده ويساعدوا بعضهم ويعافوا بعضهم في رسالة أخيرة بالنسبة للعيد قبل العيد لسه ما جاء. وشكرا جزيلا جراسي.
شكرا لك باتيستا هناك. Hello, good morning. صباح النور. جوزيف لبنو كيف صباح اليوم؟ يا زول.
وانا بقول لك صباح الخير مرة ثانية. صباح الخير لبرفرماني يجينا بقدرات مخطط شوية. صباح الخير لجماعة وماريا سلطان جوزيف. شكرا منوكي كمية البايزة من فور. هنا خطرة جمع طويل أبجاز بنجام هنا في أوتي وبرات يا أغسطينو وين بوجو أسكري نتطلع بينك برضو كل ناس أنا شيء ما تعرف وانت الناس كل البصم هاي ردوا في السبات على الله. أنا أصلا جاي في أفضلي أنا هنا إني بابا كتمانية فراوات بدأت تقول فرعي ورا سعرفة وأنا بقول لناس بينه ناس كدروا الناس بيجوا بركان من الناس. أنا أتمنى أن نقول في كلام تعودا أنا سأشوف أنا كلام كده أنا بين شوية أنا يوم يقولون في كان تراوادي ولا يقولون في بين ما جات ما سوي ولكن تيارة توماس أنا ما أعرف ماله يعني ما بيكون كويس يعني حكومة كده ما يعني يمكن بيكورين وما أدري كده مون قاعدين الناس كراس فوق ناس ما على سنهم لكن لما نيجي نجنا تاكل بيكوري راسه بواجه وتمر رجله دوا نجنا تاكل بيكوري وجيان.
نعم أودا كيف لكم هناك أودا كيف في لبنان؟
أودا بطل.
نعم نعم.
كنا بقول الكلام ده ولا بتاعنا بتاعنا كله.
نعم أنا دراسة ما بالذات في مكان تقاعد فوقه.
هم بطل.
نعم شكرا لك جوزيف هناك Filobono kita kaman bagder wasil finepsu argam 09 wide 986 umken fikata risala 09 wahid salata 986 itagumta kevo gijai sinepsa tlayom talela de kev wa jaranat kev enaga na dirasma minaka fi wakida. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Lasuba Muma.
Naam.
Sabah
Sabah al-nur.
Sultan Joseph Sultan.
Naam ustaz.
Ana bayi ya Lasuba Muma. Wana bahai Emmanuel Linat Zamila Galpat. In my area, in Advana Kwezin Matumijala, ya Lasuba Muma.
Naam.
Lasuba Muma, Debeletna. You know, Sudan Debeletna, mine a belet gero wallahi. I can't get a lope, I get a care of Kabir Lazim Kalimano. Awalan, Ana Bahai, Unahai, David Magok, Unahai Mama Maria, Batista, number 1, Gibel, David Magok. Wa kuya inak melobana Joseph Minimuniki wa akwai sai bukida manawil upanjang ukachap ultan majuk upajung Sudan Lasuba
Naam.
na manana kulto belet na lofiya aja mama chukui mana ne na zakallin fogo da belet na mai na badili ala Lasuba zai da kumda ana da kallin fin nukta bisa gabaya shwaya Gadaya da Emmanuel ya Lasuba anin je walad katolu ga sanatain wai gari yadi mamaki bamci legadi gaba tala ta yom fasal al-gadiya di al-man fasalu yan ka talata matamin itnen matamin sabeduwa fi mada 206 rajom sijin الواحد فكم المهمي بتاع المتامين طلب الاساس قال كل بيجي ومبار لما مشينا فاجنا قال المهمي بتاع الشهداء قال طلب القضيه ده من القاضي ده اللي قال ثاني ده وده قال ما قانونيا كان ينتظر لما القضيه ينتهي يديني ورقه بتاعي ويمشي يعمل استئنافات يا ولدي انا بناشد من السلطات القضائيه كلي يراقب ما يجري من أكيد بتاعنا قانونية أنا ما نياهو ده قانونيين إذا تقول غلط ما بكون كل كوربشن هناك يا رسالة بتاعي هنا ما تقول كوي دانيال مبور مجنون بعيو تقول جزيرة
إن شاء الله تبلغوا الحقيقة. شكرا لك ما مشاركتك في برنامج. kita كمان بقدر تيجي تليفون وشارك معي. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning to you. Right, you can revert your call and share with us. Hello, good morning. Sabal Khair. Ma'am. Alhamdulillah.
بعد كل جنوبين وكل مسلمين جهاز اليوم العظيم أن نتمنى يعني يكون في رو سلام ورو محبة بين أخواننا الجنوبيين يعني نتمنى بيدي يكون بالسلامة يكون ما في مشاكل يكون كويس أخبارنا كويسين في إدارة طالما ما في حاجة يعني.
نعم. Thank you too. Thank you for calling and sharing with us. Let me also have you online. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning. I'm afraid all I can hear is an echo. You can call back. Hello, good morning. Sabal Khair. Naam, asotak Dave. Naam. Naam, Botrus. Naam. ممكن نحاول في اتجاه تاني لأنه صوتك ما بسمع. نعم. نعم نعم شكرا جزيلا بطرس انك كل ما في حواجة بتال في بي او سي لكن بس سابقا ما كويس ممكن تبي دوغو تاني مرة. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. صباح النور. نعم كيني تشيك بوينت كيف؟
تمام ما بطل.
نعم.
أنا بهاي كل ما كان بدوق لهاي هاي راديو بصباحها يوم تعلله ما شكوين كيف ما هذا مطاقب كل الناس ماشي ولا كده.
شكرا لك كيني تشيك بوينت تماما. أنت معرف تشيك بوينت في شاري ياي. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
الو صباح الخير.
صباح النور.
معك شرف الدين داري من واو.
شرف الدين واو كيف صباح اليوم؟
والله واو تمام ما فيها وجه.
تمام.
لكن عندنا مشكلة بس في واو هنا.
ده مشكلة شنو؟
موضوع بتاع علم بتاع جنوب السودان.
شنو حاصل لعلم ده؟
طبعا علم بتاع جنوب السودان عرفناه اللون الأسود. أول اللون ده اللون بتاعنا هنا كجنوبيين. واللون الأبيض ده اللون بتاع سلام. واللون الأحمر ده اللون بتاع دمنا. وأما اللون الأخضر ده اللون بتاع الزراعة. وأما لون النجوم ده الضوء البودينا للطريق الصح. وأما بقى في اللون الثاني اللي هو اللون بتاع النيل بتاعنا بتاع جنوب السودان اللي هو بيجي زي اللبن. ده في ناس بقى أنا شايف الناس بخطوا لون الزهري. لون الزهري ده جايبينه من وين؟ ده ما لون بتاع علم بتاعنا. والبقى في دول ذاته بقى بيشتكينا اللون الزهري ده. وانا داير اقوم يجي يفصل لنا اللون بتاع علم بتاع جنوب السودان كندا اقوم يجي يفصلوا لنا لانه في دول برا ذاته جنبها سالونا من اللون الزهري ده جايبينه من وين. لازم اقوم يفتح عينه في ليك كده. وهنا زوانا في الواو كويسين وما فيها وجه. وشكرا.
شكرا لك. Okay, thank you very much. شرف الدين هنا بيقول العلم تاع جنوب السودان في يعني لون كده ما لون في علم ده ودراكم ما يشوفوا. أنا ما بعرف ينادي علم ده كتوين وأنا كمان ما بأكيد هل دي صح. Hello, good morning. نعم.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning. Long time, surely.
Joseph from Munich.
Yes, Joseph.
Yes. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yes, I'm very fine.
Okay.
My greetings to you in the studio and my regard to our people in POC and our people in the hospital and our people in detention facility. My brother, in the area, we are somehow fine. This day, it is Good Friday. Can share with you the message of Good Friday. Is one of the very important day in the Christianity, because it's the day that Jesus was put to the cross. And let us be in cross on our heart, all of them, all of us as a Christian, and let us stand with Jesus. What I want to put there as a South Sudanese, we pray for our nation, for peace. Let us forgive ourselves and stand with the Jesus for forgiveness, because Jesus was forgiving those people who were put him into cross. So in this day, I'm requesting anyone, any Christian, to pray for the issue of peace in South Sudan.
Which denomination are you?
I'm a Christian from the Church of South Sudan.
All right. Okay, thank you. We will discuss this in the next hour. Thank you very much, Joseph, there in Monoki. And he wants South Sudanese to pray for peace, especially on this special day that is Good Friday. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Right, I can't hear you, but you can return your call. Hello, good morning.
Lasuba, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
David Magog from
David Magog, how is WOW this morning?
My brother, wow, somehow.
What is missing?
It is not like before. You know the problem? The market is become very expensive. So, and there's no money. Bitaji ni Sudan gan bamul ipu kuli zaman mudun me. Amalo Ramadan masame. Asa Pasco bamulu masame. Opia ta pen kana amulu zato me ma. Anama bara malu opunzi no matter it. Wala maindu gurus. Wala maindu fara kide uman bamulu.
Magul meya sarafo meya yani sarafo fe sara talata يوم 24 والشهر الجديد لسه ما وصل في يوم ذاك.
Lasuba asma kalam. Alhaja al-Fiyatin amalu yom 24 da ilam. Woman japa ma tradition au frani woman kalam gal min 24 da almaya tala ubara. Alhaja tala min inat dikyak. Dikyak da faqade. Ma fo gurus. Lo ito bamsi tubang, ito ma balga gurus. Wa an chapla to mindu mahakama alwahid kita annas bamsi yakta mahakama fo kan alnas shakali mahkuma kullu kan mambaka Alarida la kuma yana kuma ga dijibal ciyar alfadi almafu guru to bisu ta jinu Sudan da jiri ma ba kamar zo ta shuru lo ita wade to alwarrak le zone fadi almafu guru la kara ne la de na lisa ma zage na lawara galo ciyar ita shar wala tare tina sanin du mita sharen tina sanin du mita shar wa mai guru ala ta ka rukula ta da bamsi la kidma shalim shi shaka وما ما ترى ما بقول ما طلع هل ما طلع ده ودل من
ديفيد ماغوك
وما فوق خروج
ديفيد ماغوك انا اسمع نفسي سوكو منا كومباري في برنامج بتاع جوزيف اكيله بتاع مية هل البنكي بيقول شنو قروش ما في بنكي ولا حكومه ما كنت في قروش في اكاونت بتاع ناس
الفواون ده انا ما بتكلم في بنك في جوبا ناس جوبا يا بعرفوا
نعم
بنك الفواون المال انا موجود فوق اسد المدير بتاع بنك بيقول ما عنده قروش وانا ما بعرف ليه ما قدم سجاله بتوع وكل سجاده مكتب به وبقول ناس بمشي بقول قال ما اجر قروش ما في بنك وبنك لسه شغال ما كان كسروا برا ما مال ما فوق اجر ما في داعي يقول ما في داعي يكون مدير ذاته ولا ما شغال
انت كان كسروا ده
حاجه واحد بس الناس واو
كان كسروا ده بكون بقى من قانون كه لكن نعم وانتم وصلوا للناس مسؤولين في ولايه
المسؤول المسؤول لا حاجه ما بعرفه والناس ولا كله بعرفه ومدير بعرف نفسه
امشي في مكتب دوغو باب في مكتب
عشان الجنوبيين بس هنا صبروا ولينا ناس جايبين وكده لكن لو على الحقيقه كده ده كما غلط
نعم
anyway there's no problem. This is the only issue that we have in WOW and we do report it several times because we need a solution from government. Thank you.
Naam, shukran jazilan David Magog there. He's been repeatedly talking about their salaries not paid. And yes, hopefully the government is listening to this and will address your concerns there. Let me turn to someone else online. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
yes, Sabal Khair. Naam, صوتك تهد. نعم جدو.
وفي الخاصة أخونا المسلمين في واو دائما ابدا انت كل ما تقدم السجد للاهل، كل ما تقدم من السجد. لكن ما نقول ليش بعض مرات بتلقى طول ما خلاص رحمه الله الناس ماشيين مخابر، بتلقى وزور قاعد فكره في الشارع، بتلقى وزور فاتح في الشارع، بشوف ناس ماشيين بمواجهة، ناس ماشيين بعربات، بس ما يكون ماشيين مخابر. في منو مات، في إحساس بقول أي والله كده مات. شوف أسمع السؤال بتاعي ده، بقول له أسمع الزول ده هم من وين؟ شفت الكلام ده بقول الزول من وين؟ يعني الزول ده يعني أول التفكير الزول ده وكل بعض الزول من وين؟ كيف قلت الزول ده ما جنوبي، الزول ما سوداني، بيجينا الزول ده بيجي يمني، بيجي مصري أو الزول اللبناني. ما يدري ما فينا جزء أخوك مثل الله. كنا دائما أبدا نحن بجد عندنا في تفكير كده. المعلمين دول عنده مال، دول مرتاح، بعد ناس وراه محل الجنازة، محل الوفاة. لكن ما قلت كده يا أخوانا، نحن دائما أبدا قاعدين نقر صور عن الساعة. الصور يا اخوانا قاعدين نقرضها، قاعدين نقرض يعني ما أنا ما أعرف المعنى بتاعته، المعنى بتاع الصور اللي أنا بقى ما أعرف المعنى بتاعته. في القرآن سورة الحمد في صور كثير جدا جدا يا رب سبحانه وتعالى. النزل للأمة عشان يقرأ يفهم بإنه عشان يقول أنت دخل تفتكر لذلك أنت الجد طالبون زول إنه المات أنت مالك مزول المات هنا يزول بس مات أمشي أكثره ما إلا على شرط أنت بتعرفه أول حاجة. يا أخوانا بنقص صورة أكثر حاجة سورة إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها أخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها. شوف يوم الندم، يوم الإنسان كده بندم فوق، وأنت ما تصل يا أخوك ما دار تمشي ده ما تزال ذاته زولنا ما تزال من المادة. فأنا بقدر أرسل من يا أخوانا بالله أنت ما تشوف ناس يا أخوانا ما تشوفوا الأسر يا أخوانا في ناس ضعفاء في ناس ما عندهم أسرة كيف يعني أنا ما عندي أسرة يعني ما يدفنوني يعني المفروض يدفنوني هل الناس يتكاثروا كلها يعني لو عملت أعمالي لا خلوني أنا مقضي هنا بعدين يمشي يسألني لكن أنت أمشي أذكروني اديتها كده أمشي أذكروني هنا وخلوني مع الله هناك ما تتابعوا الهوى يا أخوانا.
نعم شكرا لك جدو ومشاركتك في البرنامج. وممكن انت كمان بقدر دق تلفون وشارك معي في نفس الرقم وكان ما مقدر تبقدر وصل في رقم رسالة 0913986986. I got some messages on the Facebook page just watching live. Thank you for staying tuned online to us. And this one comes from Magokbol. Said good morning. He's greeting me. Thank you for saying hi to me. And Mary Ball Teng says South Sudan. Good morning. And greeted twice. And good morning, Lasuba. Good morning to you. Indeed, Losisi Daniel said he's reaching out to watching the program live from Juba town. His regards to all radio staff. All right, thank you very much. You can keep them coming.
Yengeta kolera tuanti loron parik lepeng bu buletato jai dingin nasalan musala kode ingman ko akotokela ama kata longelo budni tete im lo kolera logon awaya be kata songena na logon rorok doko banginot tete im lo kolera logon awaya lo alo bud keti uyo kana ngotuling logon ko nagon ko kinga geleng kode kinga jinjore morja ngotu wate nagon apiga ko kerijeki bubule wojo ngilo tete im lo kolera logon awaya nyenagon tete im lo kolera logon awaya lo tigbe titiki ngotu logon kode nagon agile kode amoka kolera keti mwajig lupudie logon ako durekin ko kinga geleng titiki nyilo tete im tuduluki keti kata ko tupe simorek tupe to geleng ko tupe to morek tikido anyen togo yuringit inod ite ya na kolera tupe to morek tiki ikide na jumalan morek ko iya pala bokier imu kagna tupe to geleng nyina tupe to geleng rorok do to joko ya pala bokier bokier keti tupe tomorek na rorogdo ko kingajin musala. Tete imlo kolera lo waya lo rorogdo ko kuliati bulu siti kolera keti toto ko digiwere na kolera ko kulie ngoto ilanget. Bendo ko jarani wojo na tete imi dingin nagon ko tete imlo kolera lo waya konani kona kono dijur. Yeye jiadi maju imu keg nagondo aje woju tete im anabot nagon anyendo to kita jokelan nabot keti tipiri tino be anake tokele toke piong kunong namemete anake dingitan ling dongoni ipiri dongoyet bendo ko dongo kango iterere lalane lala kenisi kulo ko piong nake ko sobun ke gapari kingerot nagondo ako nyesukinyo ko imu kegna pondia inor kango ipiri dongoyet keti kodo ko delelengo to logondo deden kata ko esi ti kolera meddi kato kelanit dedekije kodo ko delelengo to konu di bangko de ilanget kata ko esi ko bulu esi ti kolera jongelonge dedekije ge kadina wini nagon nyona teki kato kelanit ko de duma lo langet anyen nyilongo to woju ngaret tokelet kodo yenga dendia longi ojore pije wazara na kelan ko longa longi ni mirale kang lokana bokier dangini ngwan lolonge jakita ko wazara na kelan ko ngaret na WHO UNICEF ko julin.
This is iRadio.
The iRadio.
Your eye on South Sudan.
Let's look at what is coming out at 7 o'clock in the news later on. The South Sudan People's Defense Forces says it has gained control of Ulang town in Upper Nile State following a successful military operation yesterday. And the police in northern Bahr el Ghazal say a recent crackdown on illegal drug use has led to the confiscation of more than 70 cartons of substances commonly known as ice and tramadol. And the US and Somalia have carried out an airstrike against Islamist militants during a battle for control of a strategic central town. This and many more at 7 o'clock.
The Dome on iRadio.
Now let's return to the program and start our show by looking at the advancement of the South Sudan People's Defense Forces into Ulang town in Upper Nile State following a battle during a military operation yesterday. Now, Major General Michael Majok Chand, commander of the SSPDF 2nd Division based in Malakal, confirmed this to the state-owned TVSSBC yesterday. Now, General Majok said this was made possible through a joint effort between the state government, the national government, and various organized forces, including the general staff. The general commended local communities there along the route from Malakal to Ulang for their cooperation and support. He added that the army is charged with protecting the people and their property and urged the citizens there to contribute to the stability process. Let's listen more.
برضه نهني قواتنا بانتصارات الباهرة. هذا الجهد كان جهد مشترك في حكومة بتاع ولاية وفي حكومة مركزية في القوات رئيس أركان فكل الجهد ده بانتصار قواتنا دخولهم في مدينة أولانغ. وهنا برضو نشكر شعبنا أنه تعاونوا برضو على طول الطريق من ملكال حتى أولانغ. كان برضو في تجاوب من المواطنين وده كان برضو يعني شغل كويس. ان احنا عايزين كل مواطن هادف على مصلحة هذا الوطن انه يساهم في استقرار المنطقة. احنا كقوات دفاع جنوب السودان نحن جزء لا تجزأ من الشعب ده ونحن مكلفين بحمايته وحماية مكتسباته واملاك بتاعه. فاحنا نكرر التهنئة نكرر الشكر لكل من ساهم في إنجاح العملية ده ونتمنى إنه كل.
And that was Major General Michael Majokchan, the commander of the SSPDF 2nd Division based in Malakal, speaking to the state-owned TV SSPC yesterday. And let's also listen to the governor of Upper Nile State, General James Kong, who also confirmed the entry of the army into Ulang yesterday.
العيو والجيش الأبيض هم يعني قاموا بتخريب في المناطق يعني من الدمى ومنطقة بتاعت اليين وراسة المغاطة اللي هو الولانجات يعني هم خربوا يعني نهبوا أسواق ونهبوا المسيفيات برضو بنشكر القوات بتاعنا ماشي بالهدوء ووصلوا بسلامة وبرضه حسن نادوا سلاطين والشعب الفرو عشان يجي في داخل المدينة. مناطق تانية دي جوكو فعلا كان حاصل قبل صباح أرسل بريد في اتجاه لتوبي وطبعا نحترم جيراننا لأن ده جيران فنحن برضه قمنا بواجبات بعلاقاتنا مع جيراننا تاني في إثيوبيا كلمنا معه في جمبيلا والوضع هادي في كلاكس كده بسيطة عسل صباح مع أيوه ضربوا على واشي ولكن طردهم بنهد من القوات بتاعنا أسد دخلوا في مناطق وقدم وراهم طارد فيهم إنه القوات بتاعكم قوات بتاع الدفاع الجنوب السودان وأساس فيديا بدافع عنكم يعني الوضع على ما يرام نحن بالخير وهنا برضه في مدينة ملكال الناس عايشين سلمي.
James Kong there, the governor of Upper Nile State, also making remark on the entry of SSPDF into Ulang yesterday. Both officials said there were encounters with SPLA, IO and allied forces yesterday, but because of joint effort from the state government, the national government, the various organized forces and the general staff, and also cooperation of the local communities, they were able to enter Ulang. And let's now turn to hear from a civil society activist who has called for an end to what he calls targeted killings in Upper Nile State. Edmond Yakani, the executive director of the Community Empowerment for Progress organization, appealed to both national and state governments to intervene. He said military confrontation in the area should also stop. According to Edmond Yakani, only dialogue can resolve the current tension in Upper Nile State. He went on to call on all actors to de-escalate the tension and exercise restraint.
I would like to take this opportunity to raise my voice loudly to the attention of our communities in Upper Nile State at your various capacity, and specifically the elites being in the political arena or in the military arena. We are aware that there are ethnic clashes going on in Melekal, and targeted killing on ethnic or tribal line is taking place in Melekal, and we know there's a military confrontation going on in Silency. We are losing lives of innocent South Sudanese, being civilians or being South Sudanese in uniform in Upper Nile State. So I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to His Excellency Governor, to appeal to every leader that have a power of decision in Upper Nile that can de-escalate this ongoing targeted killings and this deadly violence. It is bad. We need to see an end to this particular ongoing targeted ethnic tribal killings, which are politically motivated by the interests of the political leaders, whom some of them are in the political parties, some of them are in uniform. Please, the loss of the lives of these innocent citizens one day will make you held accountable. You may not see it right now as a problem, but the blood of these innocent citizens will one day demand for justice and accountability. Why are we using violence as an option of resolving our differences?
And that was Edmond Yakani, the executive director of the Community Empowerment for Progress organization there, making his remarks with regard to the ongoing violence in Upper Nile State. This has brought us to about 7:15 in the morning.
ده مرض خطير وممكن بيقتلوا في 3 ل 4 ساعات كان ما عالجوا. ولكن في خبر كويس لتا لقاح تا كوليرا البودي بكاسما وفي عشان بحميتا وبحمي أسرتك. لقاح تا كوليرا البودي بكاسما ده وآمن ومجاني، ممكن لأي زول من عمر سنة لفوق، وكمان نسوان الحوامل ومحات القردة إيال عشان بيشيلوا لقاح تا كوليرا البودي بكشمة. ومع كده ما بودي لقاح تا كوليرا لناس العيانين أو ناس اللي عندو كوليرا وإيال الأمر طمن تحت سنة واحد. بودي لقاح تا كوليرا دي في كاسمة وبودي 2 جرعة، جرعة الأول وجرعة الثاني عشان بيقوي مناعتك ضد كوليرا. بودي جرعة نمرة 2 بين أسبوعين ل6 شهور بعد جرعة الأول. ومع جرعة 1 إنت بكون حامي جسم لمدة بوصل ل6 شهور، ومع جرعتين إنت بكون حامي نفسك لمدة بوصل ل3 سنة. لقاح تا كوليرا البودي بكاسما دي وبحميتا من أعراض تا كوليرا الشديد وبيقلل من انتشار تا كوليرا في المجتمع. كلتا ما فوتوا فرصة التطعيم في زمن تحملة تطعيم البودي بكاسما ضد كوليرا البيجا حاصل في منطقتك. كلتا يتذكر إنه حتى بعد التطعيم مهم عشان بيستمر في ممارسة النظافة والصرف الصحي الكويس. كلتا عالج دايما موية الشراب عشان بكون آمن، وكلتا يستخدم بخانة، وكلتا معكرة في محل المفتوح. كلتا كسل إيدتك بموية النظيف وصابون، وخاصة قبل أكل وبعد كان تدخل في بخانة. وكان ظاهر ليتا أو لأي زول التبارف علامات كوليرا كلتا أطلب علاج الفوري. إذا كان إتا أو أي زول من أسرتك أو مجتمعتك عنده علامات أو أعراض كوليرا كلتا بلغ توالي لأقرب مرفق صحي أو لعامل صحي أو لشخيلتكم عشان تبلغوا مساعدة طبية. لكثير من معلومات كلتا اتصل بوزارة الصحة في رقم المجاني 6666. رسالة دي بجالتكم من وزارة الصحة بدعم من منظمة الصحة العالمية يونيسيف والشركاء.
A 7:15 now. Let's turn away from politics to business now. Some South Sudanese women running small and medium businesses say they are grappling with the inflation and heavy taxes. They also decry lack of financial support and accessibility to loans to expand their businesses. The good news is the World Bank in February announced a $10 million funding to a government initiative dubbed as Women Entrepreneurial Opportunity Facility in a bid to addressing key barriers preventing them from scaling up their businesses or entering new markets. Now being implemented by the International Rescue Committee, eligible women entrepreneurs can now have access to training, technical advisory, services and financing. iRadio's Darrington Moses reports.
According to some of the women entrepreneurs, they are facing stiff competition from foreign businesses, depreciating South Sudanese pounds against the US dollar, and heavy taxation imposed by the authorities. Evelyn Angaika is the Chief Executive Officer of the Felon Enterprise, who is one of the beneficiaries.
The taxes are so high on me, and the rent, it's very high. Sometimes you find a space where you can run your business very well. You need to pay maybe $500 a month or even up to $1,000 because my production need a space. The other challenge is the city council. They ask a lot of taxes. Not only the city council, the revenue authority, the security, and there are even those who come for taxes without identification. Like you don't know who they are. They come with their cars, says they ask for money, but then when you ask for their ID, it's a problem. They close your shop. So I just try to avoid all those unnecessary expenses. That's why I operate at home.
Joy Latu is another entrepreneur and CEO of Ubuntu Limited, a company dealing in agribusiness in South Sudan's capital, Juba. Her company imports most raw materials from neighboring countries like Uganda and Kenya, but decries lack of financial support and the high cost of production due to the current inflation. Joy also cited the heavy taxations at South Sudan's Nimele border entry point that she said is making businesses in South Sudan almost impossible for young entrepreneurs.
Given the fact that South Sudan, we import most of our raw materials from the neighboring countries, so it is really difficult to be able to run a business with that kind of instability. And then this heavy taxation at the border level and even within. A lot of women shared their experiences whereby we have to deal with a lot of these government institutions that levy very high taxations that can literally cripple a young business that is still coming up.
Meanwhile, the Ubuntu Chief Executive Officer appealed to the tax collecting authorities to fairly charge the small businesses as they provide jobs to many unemployed youths in the country.
This is a call to our government to also really see into this, how they can be able to accommodate small businesses, because small and medium businesses are the heart of this country. They are the ones that employ the majority of the youth in the country. So if we cripple them before they can even stand by themselves, where do we expect to grow? How do we expect to grow as a country?
In response, Ms. Esther Ikere Eluzai, Under Secretary, Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, said the government's initiative aims to overcome the cost of business for women through access to finance and proper documentations.
Women who have registered companies, who have registered businesses with some taxation will be able to enter into this program, and they can be strengthened through advisory services, which Open Capital is going to provide. They will have opportunities for one-to-one coach-up programs, a mentorship program, but they will also have group trainings that they will undergo on business advisor services, and this will strengthen the businesses to grow to the next level. That's one thing that I see very upcoming, and will be able to help the women strengthen their business.
Women from various sectors with approved business ideas would be selected through a rigorous application process, ensuring a diverse representations of industries. As the initiative officially kicked off, Ms. Eluzai encouraged women entrepreneurs to have adequate business skills to thrive in the male-dominated society. Amaji Clinton, the representative from South Sudan Women's Society and Economic Empowerment Project, echoed the importance of supporting women amidst economic challenges South Sudan faces. International Rescue Committee Deputy Program Manager Ayela Cosmas describes women as the backbone of any economy and appealed for their economic empowerment.
When a woman is empowered, the community is also empowered, and peace, security, and prosperity is promoted in the community. This is not just a saying, but it's a fact. And this is what the WEALth project represents. WEALth is targeted at addressing the financial capacity barriers faced by the women in various businesses and provide them with the support to grow their businesses, create more jobs, and contribute to the growth of the South Sudan economy.
In the face of stiff competition and harsh economic realities, this attitude of collaboration and solidarity seeks to build the resilience of South Sudanese women. I am Darlington Moses reporting.
Thank you, Darlington Moses, there with that report. And now your view, how can South Sudan improve environment for the citizens to thrive in the business sector? And you've heard from women who have given, or have shared really their concerns and challenges that they face for them to grow their businesses. Although they have gotten some financial package from the World Bank to support them, but this money will not go to all South Sudanese. It's only targeting 1,200 business women. And I'm sure you may be interested to do business but do not know how to start, or does not have the capital to start a business. And let me hear from you if you have a thought or two on 091-1986-986 or 0913-986-986. How do you look at the environment? Is it really conducive for South Sudanese to do a successful business? A low Good morning.
Hello,
Yes.
good morning to you, my dear.
Good morning.
I'm communicating by Suleiman.
Yes, Suleiman.
Tell Lasuba Memo, Mushila can insecurity. If you're talking about the business, we need security in our country to allow people to do their business. Two, also, يعني كلام بتاع جرائم الكبولة ده الناس دول قالوا بيشيلوا منهم قروش كتير بيشيلوا منهم قروش كتير في دول ثانيين تجار السكر اللي بقى بيزنس ما بيشيلوا منهم قروش بالذات لوكال تجار المحليين ما بيشيلوا منهم قروش لكن ده يعني سيتي كانسر بتاعهم يعني تجيب بين example سيتي كانسر اللي جات في الشهر ممكن 4 مرات تجار اللي بقى بيزنس زي برابر فأنا جي على من الحكومة كانوا يسيبوا تجار الجنوبيين السكرين كده بيزنس زي شباب نسوان كده منسوب بيزنس زي اللي رابع شيء عشان كنا جاي كمان احنا خلينا نتكلم because now we are in East Africa community but we are not benefiting from East Africa يعني عندنا مثلا تجارة كويس لكن تجار الكثير اللي بيجي من برا وممكن يشيلوا عندنا كمان بنروح في يوغندا في كينيا إذا نرى الناس فأنا جي على من دور number one you need to I need to be number two corruption is the next border.
Thank you, Suleiman, with your view. You too can join the conversation. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
David Magog from Wow.
Yes, David Magog.
My brother, that one is a very good initiative. But what is needed is business need a conducive environment. Business need peace in the country. Business need policies from the government. Because when the government is not regulating the market, it is not supporting the people, the citizen of the nation, that business will not be called a business. If this business needs to be run in the country, before this money is being divided among the women, the government should have regulate the market by making the foreigners to be the wholesalers and the citizen of South Sudan to be the retailers. Because retailing is not supposed to be done by the foreigners, and it is currently now being used in the whole country. And the Ministry of Trade is not making the policies. When we come to this amount given, we need the criteria to be clear, what is going to be used. Because the women of South Sudan are not only in Juba. The women of South Sudan are around the country, and we don't know what kind of system that those people are going to use to divide the money among the women who are interested in business. Because in other towns of South Sudan, there are women who are interested to make business, but they need peace. Number two, any woman who is interested in business doesn't need a recommendation from general or honorable. Should be given a right so that she's a South Sudanese. So anybody who is concerned, let this amount reach every woman who is interested in business. Lastly, the Ministry of Youth should have even to encourage the youth so that they can even join the market, and they should have to be backed up by the Central Bank, the Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Trade, so that they are being supported to make business. This is the only thing that solution can come in. But if it is connected with the politics, it will not work.
Thank you. Thank you, David Magog there. Business and politics can come together. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, this is Jiang Deng. Wow.
Yes, Biang Deng.
Thank you, brother. I think business is a good thing that that can bring actually build a progress of either person and either nation. Any country is now progressing well in the world is a country where there's a lot of business. USA is the great country in the world because there are great business people that are tycoon, that are millionaires and billionaires in America. The same thing in Europe and China. So the Chinese people are the most great business people in the world. So the problem is that it will never and ever be understood in our countries, either by the citizens nor politicians who are supposed to be the leaders to lead people to either a good thing they will never understand what business can do. It is now business now is about to politicize like agriculture. Agriculture is one of the another big thing that can build a country. And it's been politicized in South Sudan. You get NGOs and politicians sitting in a hotel, conducting a nonsense workshops, eating money and nonsense things, and start sitting on the citizen. At the end of the day, that project will never succeed. So the same thing now is coming to business. You know that people are just creating a project in business just to shoot the donors, but you get that even the people who are supposed to be capacity build, it will never yield a result. At the end of the day, you get these NGOs running in the market with the cameras, creating documentaries of the people who have struggled by themselves to make business. But the people whom they pretend to be, the people whom they train and make them build them, they will not do anything because actually they have not given them enough capital and they have not even trained them to the way that they have to succeed. You got it? So this is the situation here in our country. Our message is this, why do we brought this, is that we need to avoid negativity. We need to avoid politicizing things. We need to avoid trying to create the stories on empty space. But we need to do real things. The project is
all right.
Need to be actually have impact. At least even 10 women. If you build them very well, you give them enough capital, and you make them prosper, is better than bringing 100 and 1,000 women whom you are not even able to do something, and you continue talking to media and creating empty documentaries. So we are calling upon our labor ministries and all the concerned ministries, the line ministries who are actually concerned to business. Please, our country is actually battling this kind of, I don't understand, corruption and some other thing that we don't know. Everybody is involved nowadays.
All right.
So we need to stop this and we need to think how we change the situation of our country. Because the realities need to
I'm
be done.
afraid.
If the project is there,
Right.
please let the project people
Okay, thank you very much. I'm afraid it's news time now. Thank you very much for your insight.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good morning. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The South Sudan People's Defense Forces says it has gained control of Wulang Town in Upper Nile State following a successful military operation yesterday. Police in northern Bahr el Ghazal State say a recent crackdown on illegal drugs use has led to the confiscation of more than 70 cartons of substances commonly known as ice and tramadol. And elsewhere, the U.S. and Somalia have carried out an airstrike against Islamist militants during a battle for control of a strategic central town. There's stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. The South Sudan People's Defense Force says it has gained control of Wulang Town in Upper Nile State following a successful military operation yesterday. Major General Michael Majok Chan, commander of the SSPDF 2nd Division based in Malakal, confirmed the development during a media briefing on SSBC. General Majok said the effort made to recapture Wulang Town was a joint effort between the state government, the national government, the various organized forces, and the general staff. The general commended local communities along the route from Malakal to Wulang for their cooperation and support. He added that the army is charged with protecting the people and their property and urged every citizen to contribute to their stability. This operation comes 3 days after a major security incident on 14th April when Medicine Sans Frontières reported that dozens of armed men looted its hospital and offices in Ulang. The attackers threatened staff and made away with vital medical supplies and equipment, leading to MSF to suspend all services at the only functioning health facility in the area. MSF's head of mission in South Sudan, Zakaria Moatia, condemned the looting, describing it outrageous and a direct blow to the healthcare system serving vulnerable populations. As stability returns to Lung, attention is turning to the restoration of humanitarian and medical services with calls for increased protection of aid workers and facilities. Police in northern Bahr el Ghazal state say a recent crackdown on illegal drug use has led to the confiscation of more than 70 cartons of substances commonly known as ice and tramadol. According to the police, 35 cartons of the drugs were seized from 5 pharmacies in Awil town in February. An additional 25 cartons were confiscated from kiosk, while 15 cartons were found with a tea seller allegedly involved in illegal trade. The public relations officer of the Northern Bahr el Ghazal police, Captain Guad, said 44 suspects were arrested between February and April. Captain Guad stated that the suspects were accused of illegally selling harmful drugs, with 43 cases prosecuted. He added that several individuals are currently serving jail terms, some were released, and only one case remains pending. The crackdown, according to Captain Guad, is part of ongoing efforts to combat the spread of illegal and harmful drugs, particularly among young people in the area. Tramadol is a prescription painkiller used to treat moderate to severe pain. While it is legal when prescribed by a doctor, it can be dangerous and addictive if misused. Meanwhile, methamphetamine, often called ice, is an illegal and highly addictive stimulant. It causes intense energy, alertness, and sometimes aggression. Long-term use can lead to serious mental health issues, organ damage, and addiction. In South Sudan and other countries, it is often misused as a recreational drug, especially among young people. The executive director of the National Roads Authority has called for greater attention to wildlife protection when building roads across the country, especially in game parks and other sensitive natural areas. Speaking at a workshop held in Juba early this week, Engineer Kenyatta Benjamin said the road construction must consider the safety of animals and the environment. The event, organized by the Ministry of Wildlife Conservation and Tourism, focused on addressing the effects of climate change on nature. Officials said climate change is affecting people and putting animals and forests at risk. Participants at the workshop included representatives from the Ministries of Environment, Defense, Wildlife and Roads, as well as security institutions, academics and economists. The workshop also discussed ways to involve communities, raise awareness, and promote gender inclusion in environmental work. Organizers stressed the need for sustainable strategies to protect wildlife and their habitats in future development projects. Engineer Kenyatta said further road planning will involve close consultation with the Ministry of Wildlife to ensure road projects do not harm the environment. This is iRadio Morning News. And to the international news. The U.S. and Somalia have carried out an airstrike against Islamist militants during a battle for control of a strategic central town. The well-coordinated strike on Adan Yambal, north of the capital Mogadishu, came hours after Al-Shabaab raided the town, which is used as a key launch pad for military operations. The BBC cited Somali Information Ministry as saying on X that among the 12 militants killed in the airstrike were several senior fighters from Al-Qaeda-linked group. The latest fighting comes amid fears of a jihadist resurgence in Somalia after growing militant attacks, including one that targeted President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud's convoy last month. Al-Shabaab, which controls large parts of southern and central Somalia, has been fighting the government for nearly 20 years. The U.S. Embassy in Zambia has warned its citizens to be wary of a new intrusive cybersecurity law introduced in the southern African country. The embassy issued an alert telling Americans in or planning to visit Zambia of a new law that requires the interception and surveillance of all electronic communications in the country. This includes calls, emails, text, and stream content in country to assess if they include any transmission of critical information, a term the law defines so broadly that it could apply to almost any activity. Zambia's government said the law was needed to tackle online fraud and child pornography, as well as the spread of disinformation. This is iRadio Morning News, and to end this bulletin, here is a recap of the headlines. The South Sudan People's Defense Force says it has gained control of Ulang town in Upper Nile State following a successful military operation yesterday. Police in northern Bahr el Ghazali State say a recent crackdown on illegal drug use has led to the confiscation of more than 70 cartons of substances commonly known as ice and tramadol. And the US and Somalia have carried out an airstrike against Islamist militants during a battle for control of a strategic central town. That's the end of iRadio Morning News. If there is a story or an event you'd like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 8 o'clock. I'm Lasuba Memo. Thanks for listening.